Well, the first few days of the transfer window are as expected. Newcastle United linked with a lot of different names, a lot of different players, but it seems to be the usual suspects that are at the moment at the forefront of Newcastle United transfers, and the likes of Trippier, Botman, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang certainly sprouting up his name in the last few days. So let's take a look. Let's have a look at what the latest is with these guys coming to Newcastle United. Hi everybody, I'm Paul back again, and yep, it's a transfer window daily news update, and we'll start off with Kieron Trippier, who was, did he play his last game for Athletico Madrid last night? I think he did. If you look at the end of the game, he walked around that pitch, he took a long time to applaud the fans, and a lot of people saying that is his way of saying goodbye to the Madrid fans, and I could really see that. You know, he walked around the pitch, he took his time, he was massive hugs to certain players that were coming up to him, and it was like it was his final game, it was his final hurrah, and just applauding the Athletico Madrid fans for the support since he's been there. Now, he is expected to fly into Newcastle this week, possibly as early as today. We don't know 100% for certain if that's the case, but it certainly seems like Kieron Trippier is going to be the first Newcastle United signing. Now, if you look at Trippier himself, he stayed very quiet on the situation, and rightly so. He shouldn't really be talking about moving clubs. There's been lots of bogus accounts on Twitter and things like that saying, oh, he's on his way to Newcastle, etc. But with Kieron Trippier himself, I think it's a wonderful signing. I think he's a very, very capable right back as well as a left back. Brilliant set-piece taker. Somebody that will really fit into the Newcastle United fold. Now, you know, we've been interested in Kieron Trippier for a long time. There's no doubt about that, okay? And rumour has it that, December the 15th or something like that was when we first made an initial inquiry for the January transfer window. So we don't know what's gone in the background with negotiations. We could have been talking to Atletico Madrid all through last month and into the transfer window to try and negotiate a fee. So many of the financial aspects of this deal could have been done weeks ago, and which means it's a simple transition to get Kieron Trippier over here, get personal terms agreed, and get him signed. Now, early rumours are that he's going to sign a 4-year contract, which I'm very surprised about, but hey, that's the way it goes. Obviously he'll finish his career at Newcastle if that's the case. So I don't mind that. If he's got a long-term ambition to play for us, that's fine. He's 31 at the minute. He's got plenty of time left, and certainly plenty of time to help Newcastle get out of the mire that they're in at the minute and start moving up the Premier League table. There is no doubt in my eyes about that. So Kieron Trippier could be in Newcastle as early as today. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. But he certainly looks like the first man through the door in this new era for Newcastle United. Now, Sven Botman, there's been very different reports, shall we say, on social media, especially this morning. Our good old friend Luke Edwards, who has this internal hatred for Newcastle United, certainly stating that the deal for Botman isn't going to go ahead because Lille have said that Botman's not for sale. Now, Lille are a club in France who, yes, they won the league last season, won it very well, and you have to give praise to Lille for that. However, they are in desperate financial trouble because of the whole COVID situation and not having fans in the stadium, etc. They are in trouble. And, if Newcastle United, if Botman's worth 30 million and then sort of Lille turn around and say, no, we want 40 for him, it's a drop in the ocean that for Newcastle United. Without being big-headed, it is. That's just where we are now with the riches that we have available. So we could go to Lille and say, right, we'll give you 40 million. And because they're in that situation, they'll take it. Quite frankly, if they're desperate for money, I would have thought they'd take 30 million anyway. So, this Botman deal for me is not off. And, Luke Edwards, you have to remember, this is a man who loves to wind the Newcastle United fans up. This is a newspaper reporter who gets away with blue murder. He winds Newcastle fans up, then he blocks them if they disagree with his opinions. He said that the takeover wouldn't go ahead. We were just sort of in a daydream for that. Also, this Henry Maurice, he was convinced that he was going to buy the club. Nothing of which Luke Edwards said has come to fruition. Nothing that he says is believable. So don't believe all the reports from Luke Edwards about Botman deal, not happening because he's not for sale. Let's just wait and see how this one pans out, because, Lille may originally say he's not for sale, but Newcastle could go in with a bit of money and say, right, we'll give you this. And suddenly ears are pricked up at Lille's hierarchy and say, right, we need this money. This can do a lot for our football club. So we'll sell him. That's how it works. And that, especially with teams who need the money. We all know that. We all know that how the transfer window works. So I'm not saying no on Botman yet. I think there's a long way to go in that deal personally. And remember, we're in the very, very early stages of the transfer window. So, you've got to be very realistic and think, right, negotiations take time. Negotiations with the teams that these players are with. Negotiations then with the players. Now, you've got to remember, okay, you have to remember that, deals take a while to go through. I think a lot of Newcastle fans were wanting, within the first couple of hours of the transfer window, a couple of big names coming through the door. That was never going to happen because you can't do that. Yeah, you can negotiate with the clubs and talk about certain players ready for the window opening, and then fine, go for it. But you can't just, immediately sign players within a couple of hours and expect, magic to happen. It doesn't work like that. So, you have to be patient here. And that's, I think, what a lot of Newcastle fans have grown to have over the last few months, especially with the takeover, Steve Bruce going, Mike Ashley going, all of this kind of stuff we've been very patient with. So, this transfer window is going to test our patience again, I've no doubt about it. But we have to trust in the owners of the club that they know what they're doing. Amanda Staveley has already said they've worked a long time prior to this transfer window to get things ready to go in for the players who they believe are going to improve Newcastle United. Now, with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, it's a strange one for me. And I think he splits a lot of Newcastle United fans. Fantastic footballer, there's no doubt about that. But, is he past his best? Maybe he's just past his best. But he's still a wonderful talent. But it's off the pitch that this man has let himself down. He's not in the Arsenal thinking anymore because of, the tattoo incident and everything like that. But this guy has always had a reputation of being a bit of a playboy off the field. He loves his fast cars, he loves partying. But it comes to a stage where, you get to a certain age and you have to start taking a bit of responsibility. You can understand the youngsters of the world wanting to go out and party and things like that. But when you're captain of Arsenal and a very, very big footballing team known around the world, a Premier League team, you do not act like him. And that is where Newcastle United fans are a bit apprehensive when he was linked with us coming on loan. Is it, fantastic footballer as he may well be, is he the kind of guy that we want in a relegation battle? I'm not so sure he is. And I'm not sure a lot of Newcastle fans believe he is either. But on the flip side of that, he's a wonderful footballer. Is he better than what we have? Yes, he is. But would he give the same work rate and effort as what these guys already do at the club? I'm not so sure. Now, whether Eddie Howe believes he can get the best out of Aubameyang for 6 months and, help us get out of the relegation trouble, then fine. If that's what Eddie Howe believes he can do, then go for it. Fully trust him in that. If he's got the belief to get Aubameyang playing, fine, go for it. But, he's always going to divide opinion, Aubameyang. But, if we bring him in and he scores us the goals to get us out of the mire that we're in and keep us in the Premier League, then he'll be a hero, won't he? So, I'm not sure that this deal is anything that's going to go ahead, if I'm honest. Aubameyang doesn't seem like an Eddie Howe type of player to me, but only time will tell. I mean, if it's a 6-month loan deal, then fair enough. We don't really have anything to lose on it. He's not going to be staying, but he'll want to desperately try, I would have thought, if he's got any brains about him, to try and get back to his footballing best and try and get people talking about what he does on the pitch rather than off. So it's up to him, really. But that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. Dembele, another one at Barcelona, for me, very, very quiet so far. I don't think anything's going to happen with that, certainly within the next 7 days or so. But you never know. This is the beauty about the transfer window. Things might spring up from nowhere. Teams might suddenly put bids in. Certainly there's no bids for our players that I can see. Nothing about, any such like of Hendrick, Longstaff or Kraft or anybody like that leaving the club at the minute. But I'm sure, once we get into the proper meaty end of the transfer window, I think a few players will leave. But there you go. That is the early transfer news today. If there's anything else crops up, then obviously there will be more videos and live shows regarding the transfer window. If you have enjoyed the video, guys, as usual, please do hit the like button. If you like what you see and you like the channel, please do consider subscribing. And also, you can become a member of the Toon Review if you hit the join button next to the subscribe. A lot of people have already become members of the channel, so hit the join button and become a member of the family. I'll be back tonight on the Four Horsemen show over on World of Sport TV. The next live show on here, unless there's some breaking news with signings, will be tomorrow night at 8:30, which is, of course, the fan forum. So do join us for that as well. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy your Bank Holiday Monday. Take care.